You bought Apple TV 2022. It was great for 6 months. Now, Apple has something ready, and the date it launches just changed everything. Stay with me because the next 5 minutes will tell you whether to buy now or wait, and I will also recommend what to buy. Drop a comment. Are you waiting for Apple TV Pro or buying a Roku? Let's talk Apple launching two models, Apple TV 4K and 8K Pro. Apple TV 4K keeping around at a lower price, and a new premium 8K Pro, likely $120 to $59, carrying the A19 Silicon Pro and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Listen, the current Apple TV 3rd Gen runs the A15 Bionic from iPhone 13, a 5-nanometer chip from 2021. It does not support Apple Intelligence. It lags. It crashes. It drops animations. That's not a settings issue. You buy old hardware. The UI stutters at 60 Hz. Users on 150 Mbps connections still face buffering issues. A dead end. But here's what the leaks are saying. First, and this is confirmed by multiple credible sources, the hardware is ready. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has said it directly. The new Apple TV is ready to ship. It has been for months, so why haven't we seen it? Because Apple made a call. They want to launch it with a smarter Siri, and that Siri, tied to Apple Intelligence, wasn't ready for spring 2026. September 2026, tied to iOS 27 and the iPhone 18 launch cycle. The most consistently reported upgrade is the A17 Pro. This is Apple's first 3-nanometer chip, first introduced in the iPhone 15 Pro. It features a 6-core CPU and a 6-core GPU with hardware-accelerated ray tracing, the first time any Apple TV could support that. But here's where it gets interesting. Because Apple has delayed this so long, A18 or even A19 Silicon is now on the table. The A17 Pro might be the floor. 8GB RAM, double the current model. That's not just a number, that's the minimum threshold for Apple Intelligence. Apple is expected to include their custom N1 networking chip. That brings Wi-Fi 7 support, access to the 6 GHz band for lower congestion and faster throughput. Also on the N1, Bluetooth 5.3 and Thread border router capability for Matter smart home devices. Storage tiers are expected to stay at 64 GB and 128 GB with Wi-Fi only and Wi-Fi plus gigabit Ethernet models, continuing the current lineup. Right now, you open Apple TV Plus after using YouTube. The app reloads from scratch. 8-second wait. Every time. That's your 4 GB RAM running out of headroom. With 12 GB, that app stays in memory. Switch back. Instant. No reload for Apple TV Pro. You're streaming a 4K Dolby Vision film. The current box occasionally stutters when HomeKit automations fire in the background, lights adjusting, sensors reporting. The A19 Pro's neural engine handles those background tasks in dedicated silicon without touching your stream. You fire up a game on Apple Arcade. Apple TV Pro has hardware ray tracing, real-time shadows, console-quality lighting, on your TV. The gap between Apple Arcade and your PS5 just got a lot smaller. And Siri? Right now, ask Siri to find something funny like what we watched last weekend. It just searches the App Store. With Apple Intelligence on tvOS 27, it checks your viewing history, understands context, and actually recommends something relevant. That's not a feature. That's the whole point of the delay. Now, the price question. Apple TV 4K, $129 for the 64 GB Wi-Fi model. $149 for 128 GB Wi-Fi plus Ethernet. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo flagged sub $100 as the sweet spot for the next model. But that's hard to reconcile with doubled RAM, a newer chip, and the N1 networking silicon. Here's the honest cost benefit. You get double the RAM, a generational chip jump, native Apple Intelligence support, Wi-Fi 7, ray tracing, a smarter Siri that actually works. If the new model lands at $149, that's 4 years of Apple TV functionality for less than a single streaming month on a cable bundle. The math works, the upgrade justifies itself. So here's my question for you. Are you still rebooting your 2022 Apple TV every week? Is the RAM crunch hitting your workflow? Does ray tracing gaming on a streaming box actually matter to you? Here's what I want you to take from this. The 2026 Apple TV is not a minor spec bump. It's a 4-year hardware correction. The chip jumps from A15 to A179 Pro, or possibly higher. RAM doubles from 4 GB to 812 GB. You get Wi-Fi 7, hardware ray tracing, Apple Intelligence, a smarter Siri, and it all lands in September 2026, tied to iOS 27. But here's what Apple needs to get right. The Siri upgrade has to work. Actually work. You'll get double the RAM, a chip that can actually run AI, and a box that's relevant for the next 4 years, not the last 4. If this helped you make that call, hit like, subscribe, and I'll keep watching these leaks as they drop. Next up, everything we know about tvOS 27 and what Apple Intelligence actually does on a TV screen. See you there.